I want to do a video on how some of this charting works in reference to mind reading through numbers, and it's amazing what you can tell people once you make out these charts, and it gives a lot of information just in a minute or two. There are some very great astrologers in this world. I met a lot of people that, not a lot, some people that can look at an ephemeris and without putting it all down on paper, they could do it in their mind. It was Patty Antares, who was amazing. There was Don Stefanelli, a guy I knew from Sayreville area, New Jersey. Excellent. They could just look in the book. But most astrologers have to put it on a chart, and it takes a long time. And what happens is it's very time prohibitive for most of them, except the gifted ones, the extremely gifted ones. But with this, you could do it in a minute or two. But let me go over some of it. And it's very akin to mind reading. Believe me, when you do this correctly, it really, people can't believe it. Now, if you use your tic-tac-toe board, and first of all, these are the houses, the astro houses. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if somebody's in a 5 cycle or whatever, then what you do, if you're in a 5 cycle, you start putting all the numbers down in the 5th column, the middle column, and this becomes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did this to show the way the cycles run. 1, of course, is the natural order of things, 1 through 9, like the houses go. But if they're in a 2 cycle, you start all the ones that they have in their entire birthday go in the 2 column, and the 2s go in what would normally be the 3 column, which is here. And then you put the 4s, the 5s, etc., and you follow the pattern. So if they're in a 3 cycle, all the ones that they have in their entire birthday, whether it's February the 10th, 1941, whatever, they all go in the 3 column if they're in a 3 type of year. We call it a 3 year. If their birthday in the current year adds up to 3, when you add it all up, they're in a 3. You put all their 1s, 2, 3, 4, and you include the year in putting this chart down, whereas to determine a cycle, you don't put the year down. You just add the achievement, day and month to the current year, and then you start putting your numbers in the chart. If they're in a 4 year, you put their 1s there, there's 2s there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if they don't have a number, let's say they don't have a 6, you put a 0, because that paints a picture. A 0 means something too, and etc. If they're in a 5 cycle, you put it in the middle like I was showing before. In a 6 cycle, you start all your numbers in the 6th house. This is the astro houses. This is the 6th house. So in a 6 cycle, all your 1s go there, your 2s goes there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And a 7 cycle, you start your 1s there, as many as you have. If you have 2 of them, you put 2 1s. If you have 2 2s, you put 2 2s or 3 2s, whatever the birthday dictates, and 3s and 4s. So it changes the pattern. And if you're in an 8 year, you start all your 1s in the 8 column. Remember, this is the astro houses. This is the 8 column. In an 8 year, we start right here. We put all our 1s, our 2s, our 3s, our 4s, our 5s, because once you come to 9, you go back to 1. It's a system based on 1 through 9. And of course, you're in a 9 year, you go in the 9th house, 1s, 2, 3, 4. Now, when you do this tic-tac-toe type of board, we'll call it, when this first column to your left is all full, it's called the politician's arrow. And it means that the people are organized and they're very political. In other words, they use manners, they're tact with people, and all is well. When there's a lot of zeros there, they have impatience with people. They're not diplomatic, and they tend not to be as organized. That's why they call it the politician's arrow. This is from the basis of the Kai Shi. Now, the next one, straight up the middle, is willpower and determination. Now, depending on how many numbers they have and what the numbers are and what houses, you can start analyzing everything. If they don't have a strong willpower and determination, they're trying to make other people happy, not themselves. They're not doing their own thing. And then you have the heart line, which goes across the middle. It shows you how connected they are with people and whom they're connected. If you have a 3 on the heart line, it's a friend or a sibling or a young person. They have a good connection. If you have a 4, it's a connection through a work or an activity. See, when these numbers are in these different places, it means something. You can start saying something about it. This is why it's like mind reading, believe me. And the top line is the headline. When the headline's full, the person has clear thinking, they're very intelligent, they feel clear-minded. When it's not, that means there's a lot of confusion, there's uncertainty, they don't know what they want to do. And if they have some numbers there but others missing, it really paints a picture. Why is that number missing, and where is it if it isn't there, is always the question. Now, from left to right, down the center, it's emotional balance. So if the line is full of numbers, they're pretty well balanced. But if it's devoid of numbers, it's just they're suspicious of people around them. They don't trust people. And then there'll be questions depending on what numbers are there or where the numbers in those houses are will give you more information. That's how you analyze and diagnose. Now, from top right to bottom left is an arrow of strength. When somebody's strong, they feel that they're in control, that they know what they're doing, and they have a certain certainty about them. But if the arrow is weak, it's an arrow of weakness. And then you can determine what's strong and what's weak by what's there and what's not there. What's not there is also an answer. Now, the bottom line, filled up, has to do with money or health, and sometimes it's both. And when a person's in this period, they may save money, get a good deal on something, utilize their money very well. When it's a weak line, they might not be feeling well. They might have money problems. They're a little listless. It's also almost like a biorhythm, too. It tells you if they have a lot of energy and if they don't. So everything is an answer, including what numbers are there. But I'm going to go over some of the patterns and numbers and give people the idea. I did that first video on astro mind reading, and this is going to be a continuation. I want people to get this. It's amazing for people. It really is. It's amazing.